I think that one of the biggest differences between winners and losers is that winners take 100% responsibility for the results and losers take no responsibility. Our leads suck, our prices are too high to sell anyone, everybody wants to get 3 estimates, and everything I want to buy costs too much. Besides complaining, what do all of these statements have in common? You're not taking responsibility. All you're saying are different ways of, it's not my fault. Now before you start justifying these excuses, look around and see. Is there anyone else selling more with the same leads and the same prices? Is there anyone else making more money than you at your company? If so, then you have no excuse. The thing to keep in mind is that all the leads suck equally, and the BS that happens to you happens to everyone else. Now, if everybody in your entire company wasn't selling because your prices are too high, then maybe you may be right and need to get another job. But if one person is doing it, you can be doing it, and you need to find out what they're doing that you're not. When you take responsibility, your statements change to, how can I get better to sell the leads I'm getting? How can I learn to build value so I can get the customers to pay our prices? How can I get better selling my customers so they don't want to get 3 estimates? And how can I sell more so I can make enough money to buy the things I want? The first thing to help you make more money in sales and be successful is to take 100% responsibility for everything that's going on in your sales and personal life. Stop blaming and complaining. The point is that until you take responsibility and stop blaming something or somebody, you'll never do anything to change the real cause, which is yourself. If you don't take responsibility that it's your fault, you'll never do anything to change. Why should you change? Because it's not your fault. That's the biggest limitation not taking responsibility does. Until you do, you won't even try to change because it never occurs to you that you're the reason for your results in your life, nothing else. The sad part is that by not taking responsibility now, you're giving up the control, but you're still responsible. You're now paying the cost without any control. Twice as bad. Besides changing your life, taking responsibility has the added benefit of improving your attitude. One way your attitude improves once you've taken responsibility is that you eliminate a lot of the negativity in your life. If you think of all the negativity in your life and all the things you complain about, they all have one thing in common. It's that you're blaming somebody or something else. Think about something you're upset about, and I guarantee it involves blaming somebody or something. That's why you can't be negative without the word blame. So by taking responsibility, there is no blame, and it's very hard to be negative. It's not that things cost too much, it's that you don't make enough money. The other reason taking responsibility helps your attitude is by taking responsibility, you feel that you're in control of your life instead of feeling like a victim. It may be hard to digest, but you really are in control of your life. If you're in sales, you are 100% in control of whether you make money doing it or not. The opposite of taking responsibility is almost like what I call a victim mentality. A woe is me, everything bad always happens to me. I guarantee that when you take a closer look, you'll see a person who's not taking responsibility, and by not, they aren't doing anything to change what they're doing. They feel like a victim and they're very negative. That's not a great trait to have as a salesperson. I'm sure you see people around you just like that. If something bad happens, it happens to them. Keep in mind that it doesn't mean that they don't have good intentions. Everyone basically has good intentions. Everybody wants to do good and succeed. Unfortunately, good intentions mean nothing. It's taking responsibility and action that means everything. I've had salespeople tell me things like, it's not their fault that their car broke and they can't work. You know the next part of that conversation. The reality is that it is their fault because if it happened to me, I would just rent a car for $50 and not lose a chance at making $1,000. It's brutal, but whose fault is it that they have no credit or money saved up to handle this situation? Until you adjust your paradigm to why it's your responsibility and your fault when bad things happen, you won't be able to change yourself to get the good things you desire and deserve. It may be hard for some people to do that, but to me they're all variations of, it's not my fault my girlfriend got pregnant. Taking responsibility also helps your attitude by giving you that feeling of control. I think that people are positive to the extent they feel that they're in control of their life. People that feel like they're 100% in control of their life tend to have a positive view because they feel that even though they may not have the outcome that they want right now, they can change it and control it. People who don't take responsibility feel like they have no control of their life. When you don't feel any control over your life and that you're just sailing any which way at the total whim of the waves and winds, and you can't control any of the bad things that happen, you become very frustrated. If I felt that way, I'd be negative too. One thing that I learned from Brian Tracy that has helped me immensely is this. That's when, as a sales manager or salesperson, when things started to fall apart and I started to get stressed like we all do, the number one thing I said over and over was, I am responsible. I am responsible. This gave me back my feeling of control and took away this poor me victim mentality. Try this. It works.